Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got Bitcoin breaking new highs, baby. How does it feel? Mr. Isaac.
Woo!
Holy God.
Oh, it's a day. It's a great
Man.
day.
Welcome to sleepless season, baby. This is sleepless season. We have Bitcoin breaking $123,000. We have a major set of signals coming in for altcoins that we're going to be digging into today. This is alt season will make people who are not invested actively absolutely disgusted with the gains to come. Bitcoin just getting the party started here. And you know what? I really feel like we're entering this zone of the biggest alt season of our lives right around the corner. It's just starting to bubble up. It's a great day. And also, of course, we're going to be covering the Trump chaos and a massive Trump tariff announcement that happened right before we went live. Of course, in a usual fashion, Mr. Trump sends us a nice tariff here to good morning, babe. Wake up. There's more tariffs. Isaac, how are you feeling, man? Waking up to these
Dude,
crazy prices.
waking up and like looking at my phone, the first notification on my phone is Bitcoin hit $123,000. Man, that was crazy to wake up to. And people better
See you
start like
green.
honing in. They need to start honing in and getting involved in crypto because we're about to take off. Because especially when I was telling you this morning that Bitcoin dominance is at what 62% now, and
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
let's go look
crashing
at
down,
it.
and altcoins are starting to run. People need to start getting back into it, man.
Yeah, Bitcoin dominance, I think it did tap about 64%. So technically it's 64% as things sit right now. I know this coin 360 is showing a little bit higher. I think it's showing 62.3. But as things sit right now, according to TradingView, we are still cutting that dominance away. So we've dropped about 2.8% from this local peak here on Bitcoin dominance. And really, in the show, but I'm going to be talking about it, but I'm a heavy trader. This weekend, there's a lot of people that are just so used to looking for shorts, and boy, howdy, I put it out there. People inside of my phone, are you ready for new all-time highs on Bitcoin at 118,600 bucks? I saw the 4-hour MACD was getting ready to print to the upside. We're having a beautiful little bull pennant playing out here. And then the rest is history, man. It went absolutely crazy. Another big mover, Morpho, tapped $2 this weekend. So even 100% plus, probably 120% move in a very short amount of time on that one. Great pick. Feels good to have added to the bag, had that conviction going for myself, and now I'm sitting even prettier. And speaking of sitting pretty, welcome to the show, everybody. We got Nicole Ministator up in here. Good to see you. I'm still going through all of our shirts. Obviously, I got a lot of old shirts, but I'm looking for some action for you here, Nicole. This is the Bitcoin Way. Sack Nasty. This is the Bitcoin Way. I'm getting her Discord handle over to Tim. Make sure that she's handled in the Discover Investments Group Discord. Got you. Sack Nasty. Pretty Rich. Then Nikita's Fade and Tradfi. Iran, what is up, my man? What is up, my man, Iran and Mr. Mark? Oh, big hands down, the fam. All right. And you know what? I miss the old days, man. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, obviously. But I miss the old days of having high production value, scripted. I started in Hit Network as a researcher and a writer. And I used to write a good amount of all the shows and really had some kind of slower, really focused videos. And so I'm going to be starting to do them. Isaac, I'm going to bring these things back, these old
Do it.
school styles, baby. We did deep dives on mining. We had the Titanic, XRP, deep in plays, all of this stuff. This is the stuff I'm going to start getting back to. So stay tuned for that. Big changes are coming. Big changes are coming to the channel. And I'm excited to really take the time to hone in and focus on particular projects. There's going to be a lot of people holding positions and they're wondering, is this bag going to pump? Is this going to go to the moon? These will be nice, concise snippets on what the future is for any given project. Bitcoin, all those different things. We get deep in there. Wear a diaper? Maybe. I might have to wear a diaper. I might have to wear a diaper. Now, as things sit, I am in danger because I am riding a long from last night. Now, this long is currently safe. I already did I think I killed half the position at $73,070 on Ethereum. Have the stop loss above the entry point just to protect the rest of what's remaining on here. I think there's like 3 or 4K riding on 10x on Ethereum. Told you guys I was looking for this breakout. We got the breakout. Now we're going to see, and what I'd like to see is us prove the top end of this previous channel kind of breakout point as that support level. That's what I'm looking at in terms of the trade right now. If you're in the Discover Investments Group Discord, you knew what I was doing all the way up till 3 a.m. in the morning last night because I am on there always. Now, as things sit for Bitcoin, it tapped this now known $123,200 level. This is the new Hillary Clinton-esque glass ceiling. Bitcoin doing a little bit of shaving off right now as Ethereum is trying to hold a little bit more steady and build up for that next punch up. And really, the reason why I feel kind of excited snooping around for these longs on ETH is a longer term viewpoint here. We'll go to the weekly. And I really, really think that things are getting ready to kick over where Ethereum can start messing around and go tap this. I see $3,250 in the future for Ethereum. So that's what I'm snooping around for on the charts and the trading side. And I'm feeling great about it. I'm feeling absolutely great about it. I hope you guys are too, and hope your alts are up bigly. Hope you're taking advantage. Did you buy the dip? Did you buy the dip? Because that's the big question we should be asking ourselves. Did you buy the effing dip? Let's go check out liquidity maps and see where things is living right now. See if we get a major pullback, because I know that Bitcoin created a CME gap. Let's check out where this is. It's right above a good washout of about $300 million worth of longs, late longs, about to get smacked around here. This is the chaos. This is why you got to be in the Discord to be able to trade, man. You know, we teach you all the tools. We teach you everything you need to know. All right. Now, Bitcoin has passed Amazon. Bitcoin has literally passed Amazon in terms of market caps. Now we're at $2.4 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, which is just over the $2.3 trillion market cap the Amazon package behemoth of the world is sitting at right now. The next target is Apple, which is just under $1 trillion away. So a big, big move. If we can overtake Apple, that means that we're looking at that $150,000, $160,000 per Bitcoin price point. This is that. That's that movement right there. Once we can hit that, so we'll see if we can get there. I feel like we got the juice, man. I really, really do feel like we got the juice. I'll take these indicators away so you can see why we have so much damn juice. Me and Piano Matty B were talking about this yesterday, and man, that inverted, like kind of rising head and shoulders pattern Matty B called out. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Ridiculous. So we'll go back here, pull this, breakout from that. We haven't completed all of it yet. And you know, this is 130 to 140 roughly. If you're measuring all the way to the wick, just a nice breakout ended up playing out. That's what we are looking for here. And now, you know, where it stops, you know, sure, we hit the $123,200 zone. We are in uncharted territories, and we are still riding off of the freshly printed green dot. I feel like in the shorter term, kind of this season of pump, you know, before we get another big pullback, I'm really looking at that 140 spot. I'm looking for 140, 130 to 140 on Bitcoin. Really, really, really excited about it. Isaac, you warming up what are you rubbing it?
I'm warming up that bam button. It's coming. Just be ready. Just know that it's like currently like 80% charged. And once it's 100%, someone's getting out of here for a minute.
Oh my God.
That's all I gotta say about that one.
All right, fair enough.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now this is another chart. I know we're going to talk about Bitcoin and a bunch of stuff going on, but the others chart is just absolutely delicious. I got to redo this and reload it. Got rid of my chart. So we bounced hard. We bounced hard off the others chart. So how you find this? DZ was highlighting it. You go to Trading View, others. Take everything out, but this is including everything but the top 10. So we have a very, very clear trend line been developed.
You are banned!
Christ, that came out of nowhere, man. Okay? Calm down.
I
The
can't
bear
help
market.
it. I can't help it.
Who got the Mr.
Mr.
Mark?
Mark. Mr.
Oh,
Mark
no.
got banned. He asked for it. Anyways, the trend line. Continue about the trend line.
All right. So we bounced really, really nicely and aggressively off this trend line for the others chart. You guys know I've been looking for higher highs on this. I think these two first impulses are kind of the ramping up moment for this. And what's going on here is exactly what we expected to see. It's Wall Street, foaming at the mouth to get that staking reward access point on Wall Street side for Ethereum and Solana. Are we falling right now? Let's check out. Is it over? Did we fall down and go boom?
If you think
Here we are.
we're falling and we're at $119,000.
Oh, maybe I use some of the extra cash and clip something.
Clip a little long or short.
Maybe. Let's see if we just wiped it out. This is what I love, these liquidity levels, man. They look great. They work great. And we'll go look at the all right, so we got a little bit below. Called a clitoris? Oh my God. What are you talking about? Jesus. I don't know why I just blurted that out. All right. So, don't worry about it, Isaac. It's going to be fine. So
it's always fun when you have a ban button.
We have a little bit of juice below us here on Bitcoin. Let's go over and check out where that CME gap lives. BTC 1 exclamation point. The CME gap is when the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is closed, price moves outside of their grasp. And you know what they say? The institutions bring that boat back if they miss the boat. So the point that they might bring the boat back to, let's just kind of mark these out here. Specifically starting at the $115,600 level and then going down to $114,400. So this is our CME gap zone. Watch out for that. Hide your longs, hide your longs. You might get washed out. We might be getting that reset right now. Let's see how the altcoins are holding up. Are they going to survive? I had a couple of these altcoins absolutely going ballistic over the weekend. And let me know in the chat which altcoin you hold. If you're holding one that you're kind of worried if it's underperforming in the light of all the stuff. Got Chainlink. It broke above $16. Really tried to get to damn near $17. I'm liking that resurgence. XRP, credit where credit is due, moving $174 billion market cap by 25.9% in the last week. That is a massive market cap to move to that degree. XLM has been absolutely crushing it. Shout out. XLM is doing very, very good. Pengu was one of the more shocking, and I don't hold this token, but this is the animal spirits have absolutely returned. Look at this. Look at the animal spirits coming back on Pengu. Now, it did spike into the 3 zone here momentarily. So this is the overall graph for Pengu. I can't believe it. I'm actually looking at a level for Pengu that I kind of like. I'm marking it. I'm marking the line. Reasonable reset, come back down, prove that as support, start cooking on the way up. Altcoins are still holding up pretty damn good, though. Altcoins are still holding up pretty damn good. And somebody, we're crashing. We're crashing from $120,000. It's over. Is it really over, Jan? Is it really over? Let's check out this ETH move. Ooh, she might take the stop loss and profit for the rest of the trade. I'm glad. This is why the take profit while I'm sleeping. It caught this spike while I was asleep. Absolutely delicious. So like what I'm seeing there. Got to keep on the trading, man. The trading it's not only a skill that I can take to any chart, but it goes everywhere with me. And I love that about it. Buttis is enough. NFTs boom at the end of the cycle. Pengu will fly. Yeah. Pengu is being shilled by like Coinbase. Look at this. We're getting so distracted by memes, but it is what it is. Our bags are pumping too hard not to be distracted. So Memecoins brands. also came out with a pudgy penguin as their profile picture. And then Van Eck, massive financial advising holding organization. Look at it. They're coming to their office with freaking plushies and igloo hats now at Van Eck. This is the boss intern. Is he the boss intern? Yes. Confirmed. Pudgy respond in there. Absolutely crazy to see
What
them.
is he wearing, though? Holy God.
You know, when you're making 500K every couple months, does it really matter? Now, I don't know what he makes, but he probably
No, it doesn't
isn't
matter, but it
underpaid.
pisses me off.
Oh my God. This is how you know and you know what, that anger that you hold, imagine that times 1,000 for a big bunch of Bitcoin maxis when they have to watch that dominance graph, you know, start to stumble when they start to see alt season really start to kick over, dude. That aggravation you just had right there is exactly what we see compounded times a million with Bitcoin maxis. Now, you can be a positive or negative Bitcoin maxi. One Bitcoin maxi I love, Michael Saylor, says if you short Bitcoin, you just hate money. So he's given this word out. Now, shorting Bitcoin makes sense in certain situations, certain, you know, money flow movements. I think there will be a time for me to, you know, when I see Bitcoin starting to top out, I'm not going to short Bitcoin. I'm going to prefer to short the altcoins. I'm going to short the alts. I'm going to short the memes when the time is right. That time is not right for me right now. But, you know, we will enter that heavily overbought, you know, exuberant mindset moment. You'll see people taking snapshots of islands that they're going to buy and all those things. All the screenshots on the phone just flood the internet. And that's when you know, okay, it might be time for the tide to turn. Now, we are having some pretty big data come out this week that'll probably, you know, shake up the markets just a bit. The US CPI and core CPI data will be released on Tuesday. Now, it's a very tough thing for us on the, you know, in middle class or just regular people, even slightly well off regular people, is that the prices that they take in and the data that they take in for the CPI is skewed from what we're actually paying on the ground, IRL, in real life. I actually am starting to feel like inflation is starting to find like an equilibrium, not ready to pump up crazy for the time being, but it depends on what sector, because some sectors are going you know, very, very strongly. Shake and Bake thinks there's no cuts going to be coming out of this. We might want to go check out the CME Fed tool to check out what those predictions look like right now, because this core CPI data is going to be a little bit turbulent for price action. A little bit turbulent for price action, I could say that. So where are we at? We got 16 days until the next FOMC. And as of July, heavily, heavily weighted for no cuts. So that's, I do agree with you on the short term, Mr. Shake and Bake. Now, this is where we start to see the expectation for cuts in September. I wonder if October ticked over to cuts. No. So October is still leaning no cut. And then December is looking for that cut here. So we'll watch this. It's going to be a very, very hectic day trading tomorrow, especially when the CPI data comes out. I'd imagine they're probably going to make the data look good and pump the markets with it. That's just me. That's what I personally think. You know, but it's anyone's game. They can decide, because the Jerome Powell's Federal Reserve, 80% of them are Democrats. They got a hard on for making Trump's life hard. They love skewing data. So we'll see if there any real amount of truth comes out of that. And Trump is just on a war path. This is almost like Liver King versus Joe Rogan now. President Trump comes out, talks about Jerome Powell on the tarmac.
I think if Jerome Powell stepped down, it would be a great thing. I don't know that he's going to, but he should. Jerome Powell's been very bad for our country. We should have the lowest interest rate on earth, and we don't. He just refuses to do it, and yet he's spending $2.5 billion rebuilding the Fed, the Federal Reserve building. And I don't know what he knows about building, but you talk about cost overrun. So he got this approved, and he started the work during the Biden administration. And he doesn't look like the kind of a guy, frankly, that wants to spend $2.5 billion. And it's very interesting because out of 71 economists, one person, me, and then one other person, I think from Wharton, got it right, and the others were all wrong in terms of the success of our country this quickly. We have no inflation. We have cash pouring in. It was me and somebody else. Then I can tell you, I don't need 5,000 people working for me behind the scenes like Jerome Powell to tell him what he should say once a month.
So watching this, and we did see Pulte. He put out his announcement last week, which he was his own source, Pulte, and such a conflict of interest, insane. Pulte came out last week. He's like, "Hey, I want Jerome Powell out too." Pulte oversees the kind of national side of housing here in the United States, and the words definitely have weight, or the pressure has a degree of weight, but Jerome Powell is already planning to leave 2026. It would kind of be maybe a short-term scare if he actually did resign. I mean, what do you think, Isaac? Like, is that like a 50% pullback if we see Jerome Powell? Like,
I wouldn't say 50. I would say 25.
25?
Yeah, it would be somewhat detrimental to the market for like a short term.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to be like crazy,
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see a pullback. I'm feeling like 10%. Like that could be a bad 10% day.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that actually comes about.
Yeah, everyone would be shaking out. Everyone would be crazy selling, and like,
oh yeah,
crypto would be over for like a short time.
Can you imagine the smell, bro? We just like Trump, convinces the board of the Fed to get him to resign early, and then we crash by 50%, bro. Go down to like 70, 60K.
Yeah, no thanks.
Ooh, boy, people without stops would be unhappy if that would happen. So we'd have some people in Trump's corner trying to highlight the potentials of this. White House economic advisor Hassett has said that the President Trump has the power to fire the federal chair, Jerome Powell, if there is a reason. He's got to prove that reason within Congress. Congress also very, very partisan right now. Probably going to see the remainder of his tenure played out in the Federal Reserve, and then he'll resign or pull back as he plans in 2026. So regardless of all this, we're just looking out for potential pullback moments because me, I love stacking Bitcoin on good dips. I'm a fan of good dips. My mindset has changed where every big washout on Bitcoin, anything that I see under $100,000 is a buy for me. That's where I'm at right now. It's a very simple process, working out well, and then I'm actively trading and adding to that Bitcoin stack as aggressively as I can because holy God, the institutions are just lining up to take over Bitcoin for themselves. The S&P 500 is showing it. If you put the S&P 500 versus Bitcoin since 2012, it is a completely inverse graph. So the S&P in Bitcoin terms is now down 99.98% since 2012. Bitcoin, the belle of the ball right here. All eyes are on Bitcoin in terms of Wall Street, but they are soon going to be slightly diverted / distracted by Ethereum and the staking compounds within that. So we're traversing all that. Something interesting on the trading side is we're starting to see ChatGPT, be utilized for all of these different subcategories in trading. And I know it's been out for a bit, but I want to get more involved with it, start using AI analysis versus human analysis and see which comes out stronger. So, I am going to start implementing these. We see a lot of people out there implementing AI. It's curious to see how effective it's going to be in, 5 or 10 years. But for the short term, I think there's some great opportunity there. A lot of traders are looking at these AI tools like ChatGPT and Grok. They're analyzing crypto trends. I'm liking Grok a little bit more. I mean, what you use both of them heavily. You use ChatGPT. I use it slightly. Like which one do you think is better, Isaac?
It kind of depends on what you're trying to use it for.
Yeah.
So like data aggregation on, I don't know, data aggregation is more actually for Gemini because I use Gemini too. Images, I use both ChatGPT and Grok, but for like titles, descriptions, and just like like for easy tasks or tasks that you really need done, ChatGPT is the way to go. Grok's more of like the political information and main crypto information, as well as you can have some fun with some images too.
Yeah.
they're both balanced, and they both have their pros and cons and things that are better suited for when you're trying
So
to
you
look up.
like Gemini for the data aggregation though? That's very, very because
Yeah.
is it that deep search
It
feature
has
of
like
Gemini
a
that you like?
15-minute deep search up to like 1,000+ websites. If there's something about it online, it's gonna
Mhm.
scrub it off there, and then it makes it into a whole Google document, and you have all this like data right in front of your face.
All right. Well, maybe I'll add Gemini to this. I mean, I've used it slightly in the past. Just get so distracted. I'm always in Grok's DMs. You know what I mean? This is Grok after having to deal with me for a year. Grok after having to deal with humans every single day, smoking his digital cigarette, just wishing the day would end. But he's an AI autonomous agent, so it never ends. There's no escape. All right, now moving on. I got a lot of altcoin stuff to talk about. This is something interesting just in terms of trading. The VWAP held up really, really nicely last night. I think the VWAP is starting to break just a bit. Let's go over to Bitcoin here. A lot of chart action today. If you can't tell, I'm excited about charts, folks. So let's check this out. Let's zoom in a little bit on the Bitcoin chart here. And let's see what we're looking at. Yeah, it was holding. We are well below it. A short term kind of return, even if this is in, kind of like a larger washout to the downside, I could see a cat bounce off of 119.5 back up to that descending VWAP and then head back down into this channel range here. So we're keeping an eye on that in terms of trade for the next entry points. Lots of liquidity building up both ways. Learning the tools of the trade helps you quite a bit. If you are in the trenches, if you are in the Discord trading with us, we are absolutely printing. It's disgusting. The amount of profit tags, the amount of profit screenshots that I saw last night was just absolutely delicious. Good job, you guys out there. Now, this is arguably undelicious. This is Elon Musk talking about bigger, longer, and uncut. I just opened the Tesla robo-taxi app, geofenced the area in Austin, and has officially expanded. Now this is the design, it looks like, of the Tesla robo-taxi location. What the fuck is Elon Musk on, bro? He's making giant dicks to fly through the sky and then also designing. I got to find out if this is real, if he's actually designing the fence like this, because this is just too much. This is just too much. Unbelievable. Isaac, you ever going to get in a robo-taxi? You going to get a robo-taxi? I
Probably
thought
not.
of some positives.
I thought about it.
I thought of some positives this week. Okay. It's, when I think about my mom, 80, 90 years old, eventually, she's nowhere close to that, but eventually. And I would have to sit there worrying about her driving, let's say 40, 50 years from now, they don't have to drive. They can just get inside a taxi and they're not running over fire hydrants and stuff like that. I'm just throwing it out there as a potential
Or even
positive.
then, you could go and have the whole Tesla automated, because I guarantee you by that time, they're going to be crazy.
Right.
And most cars are going to be automated by that time.
And we'll probably have like drone delivery systems.
Yeah.
So
I was actually thinking
that'll
about
be
that the other
something else.
day. I saw a bunch of like Amazon trucks, and I was like, just imagine a robot coming and knocking on your door, dropping off your package, and you have to like sign for it.
Absolutely. Dude, I mean, I think we're going that way. I love these. The Waymo is starting a freaking revolution in Vegas. Did you see those Uber drivers, those taxi drivers that like combining forces and they're ready to take on Waymo? Crazy.
Yeah,
times.
that was pretty crazy. I saw this thing too. It was not to get too off track here, but there was it was from Ring. They're bringing out this new AI like drone that like it sits in the battery pack unless you need it to like surveillance your house. You can have surveillance in every single room of your house from this little drone that flies around with a camera on it, and you can just make it go to whatever room after it maps your house.
Oh my god, bro, that is
so it's
sick.
like just so you're gone, but you have like a surveillance camera going around your entire house on the inside. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Well, my dog would eat it. He would just jump up. Like he can reach pretty high, but I could do it on the outside,
Yeah.
Man, that'd be interesting. The robot will scan your iris. So unnecessary. Yeah. I'm a little bit I mean, they're Big Brother's always watching me. They got my number. They've had it since 2020, right? Here in the actual. Now, speaking of waiting in the wings, waiting for its chance to shine, not only AI overlords, but Ethereum with the staking and the stablecoin super cycle. Now, Tom Lee came out and talked about this on why he's building out a bigger Ethereum reserve. Let's have a look at this.
You're basically saying that this is the new Bitcoin. You're getting in at a very early stage.
Correct. That's right. Because let's say stablecoins, which is 250 billion today, gets to Treasury Secretary best it's reasonable 2 trillion. That's a 10 times increase in size. By the way, already stablecoins are the 12th largest holder of treasuries. They'll become the #1 holder by then.
He's saying stablecoins are going to become the #1 holder of U.S. debt in short order. Big wig words. Let's keep going.
Dollar dominance is 27% in GDP terms. It's 57% of central bank reserves. It's 80% of financial trading transactions. It's 100% of stablecoin denomination. So by getting to 2 trillion, you're ensuring dollar dominance. This is very good for the US, but 2 trillion of stablecoins is a lot of network fees for Ethereum.
Very, very interesting. So the fever pitch of back in the US dollar was stablecoin debt causing a 10x to stablecoins on Ethereum. Something hardcore to think about there. Everyone's always looking for a switch to be flipped here in crypto, man. They're talking about the switch that they just built for crypto, and it's pretty clear here. USDC usage on Ethereum just hit all-time highs. $1.7 trillion transferred in the quarter across 21.7 million transactions. They moved nearly $2 trillion in one quarter off of stablecoins. This is starting to really pick up some steam here. Watching this, I'm excited to hold the bags ahead of this influx. Man, there are going to be a couple projects out of the top 100, top 200 that really shock people. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to be holding one of those. Maybe one of those is Morpho or Cardano or Solana, or maybe even, XLM has been showing some crazy movements. I don't hold any XLM, but XLM's been really kind of interesting. Chainlink. One of these projects is going to really shine above the rest. And that's where kind of like the fun and chaos within alts really is. You know what I mean? Like, are you holding the next big thing for the internet, for the transfer of value, for the system as we know it? Because it does happen. Technology changes, and when you're betting against it, that's when usually it decides to stand up and punch you right in the face. Kind of like these leveraged short positions on Ethereum that hit record high levels. Ether leveraged short net totals absolutely hitting record levels. This is over the weekend. And then just like that, those were wiped out in a violent move. Absolutely crazy to see. Absolutely crazy to see. Now, it's not been easy to hold these projects up until this point. I see some people hold Cardano. Who we got here? We got some XRP lovers. Let's see here. H-bar. My wife holds H-bar, and she's been having a lot of fun with that H-bar position. Absolutely. I've been crushing it. Let's see. I want to go through this. Link. You're down on your bag of Link. You got it at $17. Let's see. I want to go through. So Link is my only bag that I'm down on still. A little bit late to the buys on it, but honestly, I don't think that you're going to be down for too long on Chainlink. I think that a lot of these boats are going to rise as the tide rises in the altcoin sector and Ethereum sector. And you really got to, in this time frame, you have to be patient enough for washouts, because what we have is as things are going parabolic as far as me. But watch for the washouts, the sell-off moments to be able to take advantage of those. I'm a huge, Chainlink is my biggest altcoin. Absolutely. Biggest bag. So, I'm holding that. But I've been building and believing in Chainlink since it was like $1.90, $1.80. So the average buy is very low, but it's just about time in the market. Now, this is an interesting comment from AIXBT. The ETH market is looking like a Python squeeze. We have 400 new treasury companies loading up versus 17. ETF inflows eating 10 times new issuance. 29% of Ethereum is already staked, and exchange supply is dropping. Shorts at all-time highs are going to learn about supply and demand. Some warnings, some cold calculated words from an AI agent that's sleuthing the data constantly here. And, that moment of ETH breaking all-time highs, I think absolutely will bring a heavy amount of disbelief. For Ethereum, I'm still targeting 600 to 800 billion dollar market cap for this cycle. So I am still targeting that zone. What that would mean in terms of price. Let's see here. We'll go do that. We'll go do this here real quick. Perspective. We're going to coin perspective for this. Coin perspective. You get your ETH. You got to cook in some inflation in the extra. Well, you got 127 million out so far, and it's just constant build out. Let's see here. We go down. Let's check out what the lower end would look like. About 4,900, just above previous all-time highs. So kind of my lower end expectation for Ethereum would bring it essentially just below $5,000 and just barely peaking that all-time high. Now the top end, and I'm trying to keep the expectation tempered, these are more like personal, like life-changing levels, whatever the level is that would change your life is different for every person. 800 billion, let's say, would bring the price to $6,700 a unit. And now this is just, general, not complete overhype type scenarios I'm talking about. But at the rate of this ETF conversation being kind of at the forefront, now we have corporations stacking Ethereum. And I have never seen this metric. So by all means, I could see this going to the $1 trillion plus level. And that would end up with that near $10,000 ETH. That'd be like $8,000 to $10,000 if we get anywhere near a $1 trillion market cap, which I think is very, very tangible. But we need to see kind of that hyperdrive on these staked Ethereum options roll out and ETH really start to compete with Bitcoin on Wall Street, because that's where a lot of the new juice is. And Ethereum is riding a fresh green dot on the weekly. And it is just now, just barely peeked its head into green money flow. Had a little bit of dip into the red, scared a little bit of market participants out. But honestly, it does look like it's trying to gather up steam. And I've seen this pattern a lot where, you have a general uptrend. You're like, yeah, things are going good. I've seen this a lot where it's bam. And then that. I've seen this general pattern a lot. And it does appear to me that that's what we're going through right now. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm fishing around for that gig along. Maybe this one that I have in already from, last night will keep lasting and we can ride this baby all the way on up here. That'd be another huge trade. Or it gets stopped out in profit and I go searching for another trade. I also got a question. Veteran Crypto brought up this. I got to watch his show. That he had this weekend talking about a Mamo airdrop. So make sure that you are following like I do. Veteran Crypto, he does great work at Veteran for Crypto, his channel DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. This is the channel right here. So this is the channel we got to go check out to figure out that Mamo drop. And I believe this would be the video right there. I know I saw that he was hitting me up, but I was just a little bit too busy this weekend. I do got to build out kind of like a separate studio room at the house, Isaac.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go live at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock last night.
But it's difficult when you have, 4 kids and a wife who works early in the morning.
Sleeps. I want to let him sleep soundly. And Dad's like, sitting, I'm freaking out.
I'm about to lose it.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to check out this show from DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, Mr. Veteran Crypto, and Jeff from the Blockchain Report, and see what's going on with that Mamo move. I know Mamo we were watching last week and it was being very, very uppity. Being very uppity. Let's go check it out. Up only 1% today. Up 125% on the week, though. My God, just absolutely went ballistic. Shout out to that. I'm really glad that we had Luke on before this thing even came out too. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
me too, dude. That one, not only was that like such a cool experience to talk to, the
Right.
founder of Moonwell,
Right.
but we
Yeah,
got
deep alpha.
everyone in the basement got deep alpha on Memo like a week
Mhm.
and a half before it even came out.
That's a good looking. That's a
and
good
now
feel.
and now look at this. Look at
Absolutely
this beautiful
wonderful.
project.
Absolutely
Great.
wonderful. So now Coinbase Duck, also a fan of Mamo, but he talked about a nod to the pump token release. I do want to go get some data on pump while I'm going through the rest of these tokens. Isaac, could you
What type
snoop
of
around?
data do you want?
Well, I want to get, there's so many different pump tokens out there. I want us to get the exact contract address. I do think for pump
Okay.
token. Yeah, because I want to go look at this thing and see how well it hold out. I think the actual release or the full-on release of it's Tuesday. But just go sleuthing around, see what we can find on that. It hasn't gone horrible, from what I can tell so far. Now, things that are going on in the background. We're pumping very, very well, but there are nearly $1 billion worth of tokens that are going to be unlocked this week. So I wonder if I'll be able to zoom in too closely on this. I want to, let's see here, zoom in. Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to kind of call them out because the thing that I see is so we got Celestia, Pendle, Aave. Let's see here. A couple other smaller ones here. But what I see is Celestia is coming out with tokens just consistently. Celestia is unlocking tokens literally every single day. And I worry about Celestia's ability to return to those highs. Just seeing this makes me want to go look at the TIA chart here, because I actually have been asked about this token quite a bit. Let's see here. Let's see. This is not great. There's can the devs do something? The market cap is setting higher lows rather, and the price is just in free fall. Absolutely. God, this like VC design, like VCs with these, early plays and then the token unlock design. I think people have kind of caught on to that, and they're having a harder time returning even in the shadow of a great bull market going on for a lot of other tokens. So a little bit of aggravation. It's not all strippers and burritos here in altcoins season. There are, problems going on. You got to be wary of scammers too. This is Aiden Ross casually exposing banks crypto scamming group. Y'all remember Aiden Ross? He was, on stream with a lot of these vape cabal people, and it is rumored that they dumped on him right as he bought. Let's watch and see what Aiden's got to say.
Yes, Rasmer, I sold Ethereum at the bottom because you and your schemy little friends wanted to dump on stream with me. And I bought a $25 million house, something you'll never accomplish. You should pay your taxes with all the ETH that you don't claim. I'm friends with Trump, so when I go to the White House, I'll just put your whole group that you guys don't pay your taxes.
Damn.
I paid taxes on all my crypto, so yeah,
he's pissed.
I couldn't get approved for like a loan if I didn't pay my taxes, so I pay my taxes. And I bought a $25 million house, so yeah. You and your friend group fucked up a lot of people's shit, so it is what it is. But yeah. And yeah, I'm a snitch. I don't give a fuck.
Slight crash out right there, right?
I mean, fair enough.
Crash out
With good reason.
Yeah, man. A little rough. So one thing I will say is he's blaming others for him. He pressed the buy button, right? Like he totally pressed the buy button. It was it like some 360 no scope meme coin with like a telegram with a few thousand robots in it that were like shilling robots, and you expect that to be like that real. If you're pressing buy on a project like that, I think a lot of self-reflection needs to happen if it goes wrong. Yeah, exactly. Nicholas Perry made a bad trade and playing the narcissist card. So kind of weird stuff going on in the trenches. There is not much loyalty amongst thieves, as they always say here. Now, as I said, right before we went live, there is more tension trade-wise coming from Trump, which may have played into the pullback. Let's check it out here. This is Trump talking about relations with Russia.
And one of the reasons that you're here today is to hear that we are very unhappy, I am, with Russia. But we'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means. But today we're going to talk about something else. And as you know, we've spent $350 billion approximately on this war with Russia and Ukraine, and would like to see it end. It wasn't my war, it was Biden's war. It's not my war. I'm trying to get you out of it. And we want to see it end. And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there.
He kind of seems a little bit tired, a little bit. I don't see Trump like exhausted much. This is him looking a little bit exhausted about the situation. Interesting to see that, you know, the concept of some sort of peace pump was taken away for some time. We had a lot of discourse over, you know, all of, like, Dan Bongino was even talking about resigning over the list not coming out. We have basically the Republican Party's been cut in half into pieces, honestly. And this constant need to spend on foreign wars and represent NATO's interest, I think is something that we can take pretty seriously, but really, if you're going to pull out of it in total, you have to move with violence and aggression. That didn't look like violence and aggression in terms of a mindset or how he's going to handle the situation to me. It looks like the war is just going to keep stringing on. I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is. The powers that be behind the military industrial complex are going to keep printing and creating these reasons for conflict. And there really is no outlook of stop to it. You know, and we have more information coming out. I just had to highlight this before we go back to altcoins. Dr. Fauci's pardon that was given to him by Biden was confirmed to have been signed by AutoPen and received late night approval from a White House aide. This will likely be rescinded if this does come out as indeed true in courts, thus opening Fauci up to being held accountable for the Fauci ouchie. That would be nice to see. Ghislaine Maxwell screaming from her prison cell as Trump tries to walk over the Epstein list says that she's willing to reveal the Epstein client list herself, according to the Daily Mail.
She should.
What a mess. What a mess. What would you say, Isaac?
I said, this is like the raw alerts. What he said, all I'm going to say is protect her at all costs. Or and didn't kill herself.
Also, oh my God.
I mean, that's kind of like a threat now. And also, as we transition back into altcoins too, I sent from the basement account the official pump fund token.
Did you? Okay, and you sent it to, there it is. All right, let's see here. All right, we're going in. Pump fund. We're going in. All right, so this is the pump fund price right now. These skeezes haven't dumped on each other yet. It'll be interesting to watch. This at a $2.4 billion market cap. Volume slightly down. Profile score 49. So this is obviously hot off the press. It's something to be watching for. I think the actual release and, you know, the way you can buy it, I don't know if you can buy it yet. You should find out if we can buy this thing yet, because I know it's on some exchange. I saw LBank. And if you are trading, if you want to get in the Discord for literally no cost, sign up with LBank and then send in your user ID or use your user ID to get into the trading group for literally free, or you can use a Blowfin code. It looks like LBank has Pump Fund, BingX, Gate, and Bit Finance. I don't know if eToro's. I think that's just there for being a sponsor. But what'd you find? Can you actively buy it on these exchanges?
You could actively buy it. Let's see. Bybit, Kraken, BitGet, Mexi, KuCoin, and Gato, as well as Radium.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can publicly trade and.
Okay. Fair enough. I just want to keep an eye on this thing. I know that there's a large, more so I'm interested to see if the Solana meme coin trenchers have enough gasoline left in the tank to lift a token like Pump Token. You know, Pump Fund was a massive revenue maker for Solana, not just but like a year ago. It still makes a lot of revenue. It's come under, you know, legal scrutiny. It's been a very, very contentious ecosystem and now token. So that's going to be something very, very interesting to watch. Stacy, hell yeah, we plugged Mamo. We did like a deep dive on Mamo before it even existed. Feels good seeing that chart do what it's doing. You know, that's what I want to make sure of, is that we're always looking at projects with good pumpamentals. Now, where things are sitting right now, from, you know, how I'm feeling, $16, exciting to see, but honestly, I think that there's a lot more room to run for Chainlink. You know, not just from the flip the switch conversation of Swift and all that stuff. More so, I think that this higher low's been developed on Chainlink very, very nicely, very solidly, and we have the others chart starting to show signs that it's ready to feel uppity. It's ready to move on up to the moon. Did Elmo calm down? Man, Elmo.
Oh Lord, you know about Elmo, guys.
Look at Elmo was nuts, bro.
No, this was kind of nuts. He almost made on the thumbnail today.
He almost made it on the thumbnail.
Almost made on the thumbnail.
Elmo got hacked. Elmo was not feeling good, and Elmo's not happy, right? And there's a reason why a lot of Americans aren't happy. Look at this. This is absolutely insane. This is what Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was doing during this whole hubbub.
Did you know that the standardized textbooks of our American education system were all published by Ghislaine Maxwell's father? He owned a company called Pergamon Press. Anyways, this is my driver.
Her father was in charge of a lot of the publishing of children's books this whole damn time. There's where the real long-term outlook of how controlled the media is, how controlled the financial sector is. It's all been brought out to light. Even Tucker Carlson got up on stage, said some crazy stuff that's got the markets, or not really the markets, just really the culture lords in a tizzy.
Moral value to it. And if you're getting rich by loaning money to people at incredibly high interest rates, that's something you're going to have to talk to God about. That is not good. That is not virtuous. That's disgusting. And the fact that nobody feels free to say that, nobody feels like you can just say like 30% on a credit card. Why is anybody paying a credit card bill? I said to somebody recently, I feel like I'm very moderate and sensible and, well, yeah.
I like it. I like this arc of Tucker Carlson. I like what you're talking about, buddy. But we have, you know, Kash Patel coming out saying that the conspiracy theories just aren't true, never have been. It's been an honor to serve the President of the United States, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me. I wonder, he's just saying the conspiracy theories aren't true. Obviously, I'd imagine he's referring to the Jeffrey Spearies.
However, there's plenty of video footage of Trump hanging out parties, pointing out chicks to the Epstein, and they're just like hand in hand partying away. I mean, I'm not wrong. I mean, you can go find it yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true.
I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care who it is. If you're on that list, you're not someone I support. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's, you know, I think that this is where Kash and Dan kind of looked the devil in the eye and realized what they're dealing with. The conversation pretty damn ugly. And, you know, for hardcore virtue holders, like I'd like to think myself as, you know, people that choose virtue over value, I think that there is just a never-ending push for that truth that will continue for quite some time. That's just what I feel like. Maybe others will run out of gasoline and they won't really keep digging for that. But I think that the whole reason why I'm on this planet is to protect kids, to bring kids up in a nice environment, existence. So I'm out here trying to, trade as effectively as I can to affect my family's life. And I think we lose the plot if we're like, oh, we're gonna look over that stuff. You're attacking and hurting kids. No, 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 no. You're too important. You're too big. You're too good to be looking at that. I don't think anyone's over that. Hello from Ukraine. Woke. What up from Ukraine, man? Holy shit. You're holding on. Let us know how it is over there, man. International crowd up in this piece. What is up, Jay? Good morning. H. Bardano knows exactly what I'm talking about. And you know what? I've gotten in a little bit of trouble on this channel, I can tell, from going after it so focused, being so outright about what I say about it. We all know who's been pulling the strings. It's something that, remember that ChatGPT symbol that we did?
Oh yeah, when you when you flip it upside down and then you flip it upside down on top of itself. I'm gonna do it right now. I'll do it right now. Motherfucker, let's do it.
All right. Well, while you get that ready, I'm gonna just cover why ChatGPT might be in trouble here, or OpenAI rather. The Sama system pretty effed right now, according to Nick, and this is reposted by Adrian, who sounds exactly like Elon Musk, talks at the same pace as him, but it's not Elon Musk, right? I've talked with Adrian on shows a lot, and he is very, very, very good at data, chip production, capacity type information, AI, systems integrations, saying that OpenAI is effed. They lost half of their top talent over just the past 2 weeks, basically all of their leadership over the past 2 years. Sama told Microsoft it can't access the Windsurf IP. Microsoft paused negotiations with Sama then. OpenAI doesn't have the money to fund $3 billion in acquisitions anymore. Windsurf employees thought they were going to get a bag joining OpenAI. Windsurf CEO backed out of the deal. The core talent got poached by Google instead. Grok 4 better than expected. GPT-5 delays. Only way OpenAI can stay relevant is to release open source models now, but already mogged pre-release by Chinese models. The valuation of private equity have been dropping for the past few weeks. SoftBank, $40 billion investment paused, and OpenAI's for-profit conversation deadline has 5 months left. So there's Sam Altman getting all the news, just like GW on 9/11/2001. And I'm sure that they're going to find mechanisms to come up with the funding, but it is interesting to see Grok come out. Grok 4 is very, 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 very powerful. I think I'd say Grok is the most emotional-esque AI system that I use. I mean, is that fair enough, Isaac? Do you get more emotion out of Grok than the other?
Yeah, you do. You get more truth out of it too.
Right.
Like when you go ahead and you use what's it called? And mind me, I'm also trying to do this in the background. Yeah, when you're using ChatGPT, you won't get necessarily 100% accurate details, or it won't even try to let you come up with. You can't say certain things on ChatGPT. It won't even come close to performing your task. Or like if you use politicians' names or you try to make images or anything like that, it'll try to sugarcoat it. And also, ChatGPT during this whole past election was removing information about Trump. And when you'd ask certain questions about Trump, it wouldn't answer. But when you ask the same thing about Kamala, it would give you a full breakdown and all this stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and we can tell as content creators, like the moment, like a few months after Trump got elected, the rails of censorship just came back on YouTube. Like,
yeah,
if you can still really be, out there and pushed by the algorithm. If you're like, they're pushing ICE content, which is wild. They're choosing to push ICE content, but then they're really, really hiding the files. They're really hiding any sort of discourse going on right now. So it is something that, I got to acknowledge as a content creator. It's part of my job. And I notice when these things have ebb and flows, when the rails of censorship come back. And I do think that they are back. I feel like they are back. It is what it is. The only way to really stop this, I think, is to build an AI that's decentralized, right? We saw that even Mecha, you know what, got rolled back. They deleted all of its conversation. Then it wouldn't, conversate in that manner anymore because it's been censored. This is where the control of information, the pinch point of control of information really, really matters. And just got to highlight it for what it is. Shout out to this dude. I remember meeting this guy, Bricklayer, BX Bricklayer. Met him out in the Bitcoin Vegas conference. This is a great day. There's Isaac when you had your hair.
When I had my
now.
mullet. Oh my gosh. The mullet's gone, guys. It's
Oh
okay.
my god. Oh my god.
I'll
Shout
have
out to you,
this,
Brickslayer.
ChatGPT thing ready too.
All right, let's go to the chat here.
The
Stacy Bailey, can you talk about Bonk and Let's Bonk rival about Bonk? And it's, I think you're thinking the rivalry between Pump Fun and Bonk. Yet they're burning Bonk and buying Bonk with fees from it. Is that why Bonk has been running so hard, hanging whether ETH runs or not? I think Bonk is running hard because the Solana meme coin ecosystem needed a new landscape to go F around on. I think that when you're looking in crypto, trench meme culture, they're kind of like migratory birds where, one setup, one pump fun situation, it works for like a year, maybe a half a year. Then things start to get exhausted. The excitement about it gets to a little bit exhausted. Bonk, you have the Bonk bot. Bonk has done a lot of interesting things as, kind of a meme ecosystem where it's not, I can't really say it's just a meme, which is easy to say about 99.9% of memes. Bonk actually has a Bonk bot, which is a sniper bot. It's a pretty easy to use, kind of set up within Telegram. I've used it in the past. And then Bonk also was kind of like the chosen child when Solana rolled out that phone. Remember, a lot of focus was given to Bonk, and a lot of users were given just that baseline infrastructure and understanding of what Bonk is. It's been building this in the background for quite some time. So as a meme, it is what it is. This is, man, my mullet is really getting, man. You guys can't see it really. Look at this
That's
thing.
dark.
Oh man, I'm
You want
getting
to see this ChatGPT logo again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we won't
All right,
say
let's
what's
do it.
going to happen.
We won't
This
say
is
what's going to
just-
happen, but this is the
is in real life.
ChatGPT logo. See, this is obviously ChatGPT logo. Sorry for just banging that mic in your ear. Let's just what's it called?
Just flip it.
Flip it vertically. Huh? What does that look like to you, huh?
And then undo that, and then flip it the other way too.
And then we're also gonna flip back vertical, and we're gonna flip horizontally.
Either way. Either way.
You can flip vertical.
Either way.
Oh my
Looks
gosh.
like a butthole. Crypto fascist colonizer.
Crypto fascist colonizer. I have one thing to give you. And with that being said,
You are banned!
banned.
We're doing this on the show, but we're banning him for something.
You're banned. Yes,
Oh my god.
It's fair. It's fair. 100% fair. Trust me, guys. Anyways.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I was just talking about Bonk. It's conversational worthy, I'd say. And we see the rise in Pengu. There's a lot of interest bubbling up in the Pengu side, Pengu on Solana as well. Oh my god. We didn't get too unhinged, but I had to show that thing again. It's like, no wonder, like, who's the designer of conversation over the next 100 years through this AI thing is pretty simple to see. It's pretty simple to see. Don't make me get more banned by having to be more explicit. I'm going through the latest information here. It's so funny to see all the different trends, the top trends. People are starting to get excited. You see H-bar. I don't know what gumbo is or Koi James, but H-bar being a top trend in here. Very, very, very interesting to see H-bar come up in that realm. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and see how the H-barbarians are holding up. I've seen ISO getting a little bit of extra juice over the last few weeks. So let's see if it's playing out here. Flat on the day, 52% on the week. Damn, 57% on the month. It's definitely woken back up. It bounced really, really nicely off this original pump moment. And really good. I mean, structurally, outside of this, look at how aggressive the market cap has had to go up. to fight back the tokenomic design, but still structurally from a price point, H-bar absolutely bounced beautifully off of this kind of midpoint channel, and it bounced off of it 3 times. It originally was this resistance, you know, you run into a little bit of a turbulence, and then support twice, and just a disgusting return. Look at that. Look at that, up 90%. This is the kind of stuff we like to see. And that is a very clear W pattern. That now that I'm really kind of zooming in and looking at this. So that's actually extremely bullish. You know, what I look for in terms of, you know, how to find entry points in a graph like this is just to look at the more recent term price activity zones in. So, you know, if I'm looking at the outside, like, man, I wish I had some H bar, you know, I'm having FOMO about H bar. I'd be targeting about this 18.5, 19-cent zone for H bar. Very historic price action movements. You know, get a nice sneeze on the markets, and you can come back down and revisit those levels right there. ISO 20022 went live today? Question mark. Let's see here. Let's snoop around. Let's find the information here. I want to find that out if we went live. I know we've covered it in the past as far as the live date. I can't remember if today is the day. Let's see here. Yes. Whoa. Today is the go live date for ISO 20022. The FedWire Fund Service, the Federal Reserve banks have implemented a new message standard, the format for FedWire, replacing the existing FAIM format, changes part of a broader industry effort to standardize financial messaging. Very, very interesting. Okay. So they're going live with it. You see all the write-ups about it. Let's see here. So July 14th was the day. Very, very interesting. Entire wire ecosystem. I want to find, you know what? Later on, we might need to do a deep dive. See, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This will be our first deep dive that we're going to start doing again for the blockchain basement. We'll get the whole ecosystem of the FedWire setup, the companies, and which crypto projects they're actually connected to, because there's actually a handful of companies that are connected to these, you know, private organizations that have been contracted by the Federal Reserve to make this happen. So I think that that'll be a good first video for us to start off the deep dives again here on the blockchain basement. And also, if you have ideas, if you have projects that we should bring up and focus in on a dedicated video here on the blockchain basement for, let me know down in the comments what you think I should be covering, because I'm super excited to get those going. I used to be an obsessive researcher, and obviously I still am, but I'm in there trading and stuff like that. I haven't been doing the uploads in a kind of a produced manner in quite some time. And crypto fascist colonizer. Where's the ban button?
You are banned!
I did it.
Two in one day. You're on a roll, my friend.
Oh, wait. Undo. I accidentally like gigabanned him. Hold on.
Did you actually gigaban him?
Hold on. I like gigabanned him. All right, there. Hold on. Jesus, bro. I think it's too soon for that shit, man.
You gigaban him?
Oh, no, I didn't gigaban him. Oh, why is he gigabanned? Like, actually?
No, I thought you said you gigabanned him.
Well, I did originally, and then I undid it. Unbelievable.
Okay, go deep into the trenches of our studio and figure it out.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so let's go on over here. Let's go to the top trending. I want to make this bigger so I can get the top trending. Bam. It makes bigger for me, smaller for you. That's what she said. So trending coins, number one trending is Bitcoin, it looks like. XRP is number 2. Absolutely wild. And again, credit where credit's due. XRP moving a market cap like that by, was it 25% a week? That's crazy. No, 39% in a month. Wild, wild numbers. Now, this is very cool to see. The top trending tokens are big, big market cap projects. Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, and SWI. SWI is now at $3.90. Very, very aggressive general chart. Very aggressive general chart. We have to look at this. So this we see, all right, we come here, we're like, all right, we knew about SWI. It's nearly $4 now. What's the ecosystem of SWI look like? I think the first and foremost thing that comes to mind is CEDA's protocol for SWI network, kind of downhill microcap plays. CEDA's looking very, very strong after that little, I think they had like a security incident or some shit, but they held up really nicely on this 8.2 cent level. Very, very noteworthy on CEDA's protocol. It is up 11% today, 35 on the week, and then 20 on the month. I'm looking for get-in zones around 10 cents. Looks juicy within the month. Let's back test that and check it out again. 10 cents would be if I can see 10 cents on this, honestly, I'm not too terribly far away. Maybe I FOMO buy this one. Hold on. I'm putting it to next targets. Wait a minute. I like this. I like this. It's bounced really nicely. This is going to end up looking like a W pattern, in my opinion. SWI's going to keep. I mean, SWI has one of the best charts versus Bitcoin out there. A lot of movement on it. Very fast network. CEDA's within that. I do want to go check out. This is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So let's go to not BNB. We'll go to categories and then let's go to ecosystems. So let's see here. I wonder if yes, perfect. They have a whole SWI ecosystem section here in CoinMarketCap. And obviously SWI, King Kugla of this ecosystem, Bonks within the ecosystem. There you go. Walrus, I've heard a lot about this one as well. I've heard a lot about Walrus on the year, very flatlined. I could be buying someone else's pain, it looks like, on this graph as things started to tick back into the bullish nature. Walrus, we got to keep this one on mind for, I got to remove from main watch list. I got to put this on next targets. I'm building out my targets right now. I see a lot of G's coming to SWI, and I want to have just some auxiliary plays built out in it. So I'm keeping an eye on this because, really, over the past few months, a year, the things that have really captured my attention out of this have been Walrus and CEDA's protocol. Do you know what's happening with Fun Token? No idea. I'm high. If you want to drop contract address, I'll check it out. If I hate it, I'll spit on it. Still looking at possible longs. How about we look for the obvious rugs to short? That's an interesting idea, Mr. Patton. Obvious rugs to short. I mean, most of these memes, most of these microcaps are like gonna
Algorand and
you know what? Algorand is like a virgin in high school that's finally about to have his chance to get some. And
I just get punched in the throat.
Well, there's a lot of pent-up aggression there. And Algorand is totally within like the ISO narrative. Algorand's totally within the ISO narrative. So like when I look at this larger chart, I mean, yeah, it's totally become sick from inflationary pressures. I could see it getting that 90 cent zone. You're going to have a lot of turbulence at 90 cents for sure. Maybe I keep in mind Algorand for when it gets anywhere near $1 to potentially look for, one of those mega shorts. This could end up being a real nice short. If we can hit that, if we can breach this midterm point and get into the hands of all these older buyers so they can do their sells and break even on it and see that chart reverse to the downside, that'd be something. That'd be something nice. What up, Manawak? My man, Manawak down there. It's good to see you, my man. Very, very excited. Also, we're going to be having a range day, a basement range day coming up very shortly. And this is going to help kind of kick off the beginning of the next iteration in what the blockchain basement is, because really, I want your guys' heavy involvement in the comments section down below in the comments of this show to let me know every single project, every single, major concern that you have, because we're going to be doing dedicated videos on those subject matters just for people as things start to get heated back up. I want to have that focused content so people can get the alpha that they need on any specific project out there. Now, where are we at in terms of this trade, in terms of Bitcoin? We did come down to essentially this kind of newly created support zone here at about $118,900, as shown on the graph earlier in the show. Bounced off it. We're trying to bounce off of this old school shelf right now. So there's your dead cat bounce I told you would happen. We'll see how high up we can get. If we can tap the lower end of this VWAP, that'd be a great thing to see. On Ethereum, let's go check out where we're at on Ethereum. Bam. Zoom in. Win on bent, zoom in. So we got a green dot recently printed on the 15-minute on Ethereum. Tapped the top end of this range pretty nicely. I wonder if the trade is still in play here, or did I get wicked out? Like, do you know what? Someone with the best name in our chat, John Wicked Out. I saw that name. Fucking awesome name. Jesus, look how close I came. Look at that. And it might happen still. Jesus. I came within like $1 or $2 of getting wicked out on this Ethereum trade. So what remains of the trade I originally took last night? As I said at the beginning of the show, I already killed half this trade at $3,070 for a great, great profit. Now I'm seeing if I can let the rest ride out and to the sunset. It's going to be an interesting day watching charts, watching the prices today. ISO happening today, a very, very big deal for ISO tokens. We're starting to see Bitcoin dominance fall back. And, I will take some time to look at this dominance graph kind of raw here. I have a lot of the old stuff deleted here. So that kind of hockey stick motion has been happening. But, a lot of people are on the outside looking into this dominance, when you start getting into the weeds of crypto and altcoins. And there's just a general trend that we're hoping, continues. But I really don't think that Bitcoin is going to come all the way down to this mid 40% range. I do not think Bitcoin is going to lose 33% of its market share control. More so, I'm looking into these internal, what were resistant zones and support zones right here at about 50%, 49, 50%. So this is what I'm feeling is going to be the stopping point in Bitcoin dominance. This is where I feel like Bitcoin dominance is going to be able to hold on to its power over the larger crypto market. But don't be discouraged if that's not what you wanted to hear, because a move like this, if Bitcoin would lose 25%, 24% dominance against the larger ecosystem of $6 to $8 trillion that are devised amongst all of crypto, that means absolutely parabolic moves for our favorite altcoins, you guys. This is where the absolute chaos happens. So I want to just take a look and see if we have HBAR versus Bitcoin real quick. HBAR to BTC right there. And this is just another altcoin graph that trends to zero against Bitcoin. Let's take this old movement here. And really what I see, this zone right here. This is kind of what I'm feeling in terms of the general resistance spot to watch out for. And yeah, we overperformed it for sure. But if HBAR is able to move up, 50% against a $150,000 Bitcoin plus, that is some major, major moves for a market cap like that. And now, the major move, beyond that would be if we were able to break up into this midterm point at around 140%. But I just keep these metrics in mind for any altcoin that I'm holding to know when I'm winning against Bitcoin. And HBAR, as you can see, has been winning against Bitcoin for the last few weeks. So something to keep an eye out on these altcoins as they start to perform really, really well and lead the markets. I'll check out link to Bitcoin as well, as this matches for my own personal movements here. I got my trucker friend sending me memes. What a twit. Now, this is Chainlink to Bitcoin. Again, it had a moment in 2021 where, holy shit, Chainlink is the new standard, and it has been a fight downhill ever since then. Really, this trend line coming in right about here. And Chainlink has some serious resistance that it'll run into, in my opinion. But if I can see just a slight move to the upside, I think this is a little bit more bearish than I usually would be, because actually I feel like Chainlink can probably pop up by up to these old school spots at around 200 to 250%. So I think we're going to see that slight move up and then have to fight the hill on the way down. But just keep these charts in mind. Link to BTC, H bar to BTC, Solana to BTC, all of them. Just keep that in mind. As things get hotter and heavier in the altcoin season, we need to think about what is the point where you can pull profits and tangibly change your life. And if you're not thinking for the long term, you're doing it wrong. If you're not thinking in terms of how much more Bitcoin can I get from this move, you're doing it wrong. Make sure to support a channel sponsor and partner, Bitcoin IRA. If you're a long-term visionary of Bitcoin like me, you want a long-term place for housing that value with tax incentives from the infrastructure you can find in an IRA. So make sure to give them a call at 877-936-7175. Again, 877-936-7175. Use all of their tax advantages, get an actual person on the phone, and figure out what you can do with your bags, because they even can trade and buy and add in over 75 different current cryptocurrencies within this. And I had a question come out in the Discord earlier this morning. I do want to reemphasize there's a question about, I'm buying crypto on yada yada exchange. I want to find a crypto exchange I can trust for the long term to hold my crypto. The answer is none of them. The answer is wrong. You want to hold on an Arculus cold storage wallet. Use code BASE20. You get 20% off of that, or really any cold storage wallet. But we got a great deal on a great product here for you to take advantage of right there. It's a great day in Bitcoin. It's a great day in crypto. May all your bags continue to pump to the absolute moon. We got a lot of work in getting ready for the big changes that are coming to this channel. And I hope that you continue to support us and share the videos as we move into this next iteration, this next evolution of the blockchain basement. I love and appreciate every single one of you out there in the chat. JZ, Stacy Bailey, Objectively Real Reality, David Middleton, Green Day Profits, my man, Pre-Rich, all my people, Aldo Hernandez, Papa Guth, Nikitas, Mr. Mark, all my peeps down there. I love and appreciate every single one of you. And we'll see if this trade ends up printing us another couple grand, or if we just took another stab at the moon and end up with only a big chunk of those profits. But currently I'm sitting up around $500. If it fails, it doesn't cost me anything. I'm seeing if I can grab this macro move on ETH up to the $3,200 zone. That's what I'm looking for. I got other take profit levels for another 25% here at $3,096. And then we go into rediscovery, baby. So I love and appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you on the next show. Take care.